sitting in the front. Yeah, she wasn't there when you came, but now she's there. You were Zrizim Magdimim. You came on time, not like the ordinary Chassidim who come a few minutes late. Okay. Here we are. Okay, good morning and welcome everybody. Thank you for joining. Yep, we're on. Just make sure the recording is happening. Today is Erev Chof Sivan. I just want to mention to this class right now is going to be the Yortzeit Eliyahu ben Mordechai. This is Mrs. Habibian's father. That's what I think. Mrs. Habibian's father. May his neshama have a great aliyah. I think the Yortzeit is today. I texted her and she didn't answer me yet. But whenever the Yortzeit is, may the neshama have a great aliyah, the greatest of heights. I mean, draw a lot of brachas down to her, to the Habibian family, all the children, for only mazel bracha, and only a gewald of revealed good. Okay, this is extremely exciting because we're coming to Chof Sivan, and what people don't maybe realize is this year's Chof Sivan is 77 years. It's 77 years. We're entering into the 77th year. And Chof Sivan is the day that the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, came to the United States of America together with his Rebbetzin. And it's of course an important day amongst the Chassidic Chabad, but as we're going to learn in the talk that the Rebbe gave, and this is a talk that was actually given during the week, so this is on video, you can watch it. And the Rebbe said in Yonim Nefloim, he said incredible things at this Sikha. B'chlal, all the Sikhas of the years of 1991, 1992 are just beyond, over the top. And this sikha is very powerful. This is the foundation for the famous kuntres the Rebbe gave out, which is called Beis Rabbeinu Shebebavel, in which he talks about the significance of his shul, his center for Judaism, which became the ultimate nerve center of Judaism in the entire world. He talks about 770. The sikha talks for itself. I don't have to say anything about it. Anything I can say will only probably diminish its power. So I want to learn with you inside. We're going to try to learn it pretty quickly so we can get through at least most of it. Maybe I'll have to skip around a little bit just to be able to finish. So let's see how we go. Okay. In Yanai HaMeyuchet Shel Yom Zakai. And the reason I think it's very important is that it's interesting that there is something that's taking place now in the world. We just received the news that a great meeting is taking place. They're preparing for this great nuclear disarmament, and which is just one of the stunning miracles that has happened this year, and that is in the midst of happening this year. We're kind of watching, for those who don't want to be blind, we're watching the ultimate redemption unfolding in front of our eyes, and it's hard to even. Sometimes I try to wonder where exactly are we holding right now between Makas Shchin and Arbe, or Arbe and Choshech and Makas B'chores. The sequence of miracles that are happening in the world right now are just spectacular. And hopefully, the Rebbe said that by learning the Sikhs, it will enable us to open up our eyes to see the Geula and to sing the praises of the redemption. Because the Rebbe asks in one of the places, I know sometimes people have a little complaints against me. I'm supposed to be teaching Chassidus and I'm busy talking about the news. But I mentioned to other people that when the news is Chassidus, then that's Mashiach. It's when the two of them converge together. So the Rebbe says, a chelik of the Bias HaMashiach. It's negayat the Bias HaMashiach. The Rebbe says, not to be a chassid with closed eyes who doesn't see anything that's happening in the world, but to recognize and to see and to realize the neflois of the Geula. So we have to talk about it, we have to see. In this sikha, the Rebbe talks about the idea that Chof Sivan is the ultimate power of the Torah. The ultimate Matan Torah. Matan Torah, the Torah comes to the world. What is the purpose of Matan Torah? Purpose of Matan Torah is to unify the creation with God, to make a peace between Hashem and the world. And its ultimate strength is in Chodesh Sivan, and particularly Chof Ches Sivan. So the Rebbe says in the Sikha, we're going to see soon, that Chof Ches Sivan is the day which brings about the ultimate peace. So isn't it amazing that this peace accord that's being done with, we spoke once, the Rebbe spoke about the nuclear disarmament between the Soviet Union and the United States, the cutting down on nuclear weapons and all of that. That's Soviet Union were opposition. We're talking about real fought a war against Al Hashem V'al Mashiach. Talk about, but still there was some degree of civilization there. Talking about civilized people that are to some degree, are a country. This Kim Jong-un is a total lunatic and a threat to the world on a scale that's like, because he's a reckless being, and the way he's treated his own people and so on and so forth. To be able to take out of nowhere a monster like that in his craziness and be able to turn that around, which we're watching now, which is going to happen over the next 2 days, we don't have to have sfeikis. See, our sfeikis, whether it's going to happen or not, is if President Trump is doing it. But if it's Mashiach Tzidkenu that's doing it, then we know it's, Hey, a few weeks ago, they called the whole meeting off. And it was like, call it off. Don't worry, it's back on the table. Because it's not them that's doing it, there's something much deeper that's happening over here that's making it happen. And this is the important idea that we have to see. So let's read inside. In Yonai HaMiyuchet Shel Yom Zakai, Shekol HaYom Kulei Nikra Kach, the main inyan of a Yom Zakai, a special day, the whole day is called Yom Zakai, because a good thing happened on this day. Even when the Davar Zakai, the special thing happened only in a specific time in that day, but whether it happened at the beginning of the day, the middle of the day, at the end of the day, the whole day, however, is called the Yom Zakai. The whole day is called a special day. So this uniqueness of this special day is merumaz, it is hinted to in the name of the day and in its number of the Yom B'Chodesh. Ubenidin Dedan. And in our case, in other words, the day, in addition to it being a number, it also has a name. That number has a name. So for instance, when you say Chof Ches Sivan, so Chof Ches Sivan is the 28th day, it's a number, but it's also Koyach, which is a name. So what's the day, the name of today? The name of today is Koyach Sivan, the power of Sivan. Chof Ches Oisi is Koyach, it's the letters of Koyach. This symbolizes the power of the whole month. The Chof Ches Sivan Madgish, and the 28th day of Sivan emphasizes on the koyach of the entire. It's koyach Sivan. It's the of the entire month of Sivan. So again, today we're the 27th of Sivan. We're leading into tonight, which is going to be the 28th of Sivan. What's unique about the third month, Sivan? It's the koyach of Sivan. Sivan is the chodesh of Matan Torah. Hakasha b'miyuchadim yachet lisakid lakama, which is very, very important, which is connected to being the third month. Number 3 is very important, because number 3 is the idea of peace, harmonizing, bringing peace, bringing shalom, because you have two opposites, and you harmonize. Dahainu. Sha'yom zakai de Chof Ches Sivan. The Yom Zakai, the special day of the 28th of Sivan, moira ala koyach shal Matan Torah. This day indicates the power of Matan Torah. Ukemerum is gam b'mispar ayoim, as it is also hinted to in the number of the day. See, till now the Rebbe is looking at the word. The word koyach means power, but it's also merum is in the number of 28. Why? Koyach amiti al pi Torah. In order for something to have strength, al pi Torah, kasher mispar shloisha. The number 3 indicates strength. Why? Because that's in Torah, bitla zimah have a chazaka, b'sholish pam menasa chazaka. Anything in order to be established as a reality, as something that we can rely on, that that's the way it is, that it's not just we might say a freak happening, but something that you can establish that this is the way it is, you can count on it, is if once something has established itself 3 times, then we say this is real, right? That's an halacha and many things. We're not going to get into it right now. It also says in the pasuk that Rebbe is relating it to Torah Shabbat as well. And a triple thread is not easy to tear. It doesn't get disconnected once it's triple. The number 3, man, he's talking about the 3rd month. Sivan is the 3rd month. Is speaking about a koyach, an eternal koyach, a power that stands forever. HaKoyach shel davar shel kayama, something that has lasting power. Now, in number 3, how do you get number 3 to its fullest? Number 9 is the ultimate of number 3. That's why it's MS. MS is Aleph, Mem, Taf is 9. Bimis Berkatan. Aleph is 1, Mem is 4, and Taf again is 4. 400. Break it down to the single digits, you get 9. 9 is MS. Right? That's why also we have 9 Rabbeim from the Baal Shem Tov, because they bring MS Hashem la'olam. Their job is to reveal the truth of God in the world, which is Mashiach. It's the truth of the Eibishter in the world. MS Hashem, like, and Stakadisi is Kapitel Tehillim. MS Hashem la'olam. The Hizgalus, the final break of all the Halamas Ve'esterim that are blocking that full MS to blast and open up. 9. 9 is that number. Why 9? Because 9 is, if 3 is Chazaka, 3 times 3 is 9. Gufareyu shalish pamim shalish pamim shalish. Oh, but, and so what's after with number 28? 28 is 3 times 9. So when you have 9, and each 9 is 3 times 3, and then you have 3 times that, so you're tripling the 3 to the most, right? And that gives you 27. And after you have the 27, that reveals, once you have 27, 3, now you have the koyach, because it has established itself in its fullest. Shalish pamim, shalish pamim, shalish, chav zayin, oisi yazach, sheyeshnei b'shleimus b'yoyim chav ches. When it comes into the 28th day of the month, then you have the shleimus of the 3 times 9, Shabbat takev la'achar ha-shleimus to chav zayin, gimel pamim, kamim, gimel pamim. So that explains why there is something unique about the 28th day of Chodesh, something unique about the 28th day of Chodesh Sivan. Because here is where you take the Torah from being airy, from being an Inyan, and bringing out its full durability, its strength, its permanence. That's the key to all of this. Its permanence, nitzchias, strong, eternal, firm, lasting, unchanging. Yesh loima, we can say. So we go to Perek Beis. This is one of the reasons. Matan Torah is in the third month. And the giving of the Torah is connected to the number 3. Say, blessed is Hashem that has given us a triple Torah to a triple people. Triple Torah, Nevi'im, Iksuvim, a triple people, Kehanim, Leviim, Yisroelim. Through the 3rd one, Moshe Rabbeinu was the 3rd in his family, Miriam, Aaron, Moshe, on the 3rd day, because Hashem says, okay, V'Rav Nisan Gaon, I'm skipping the parentheses, the Rebbe then is explaining what this is. V'Rav Nisan Gaon, I'm going to the second parentheses, Moina Oidin Yanim, Sheshloisha B'Kesher Matan Torah. Reb Nisan Gaon, which is, by the way, interesting, later in the Rebbe, in the talk, in the Haggadah, the Rebbe says why it's Reb Nisan Gaon Dafka, who's the one who reveals a bunch of other things regarding to the number of Torah and regard to number 3. So what's the connection? Why is Matan Torah on the 3rd month? Again, what's the idea of number 3? Koyach, strength. Last palmim have a chazaka, something is strong. Matan Torah gives koyach. Kiyam v'choyzik b'bnei Yisroel b'briya kula. Matan Torah makes the Jewish people be strong, stable, and makes the entire world, gives the world stability and strength. Ki yadu, as it is known, why? Why does Matan Torah give a stability to the world? She'oznes batla gezeda shefrida ben elyonim tachtoinim v'niten hakoyach lahamshech legalis elukus elyonim ba'olam in the world olam hazeh. The secret of the stability that Matan Torah gives to the world lies in the fact that until Matan Torah, this world, you weren't able to reveal the godly elukus in this world. So our world, a world that's a world without godliness, without elukus, is only as strong as what? As something without God. Something without God doesn't even have an existence for a split second. It's only because the Eibishter is making it, right? But even without the depth of that, something, okay, everything in the world is wear and tear. every existence is wear and tear. The only thing that's stable is the Eibishter. But when you megala the Eibishter in the world, then the world becomes an expression of God, and God is eternal, so the world is eternal. In other words, Matan Torah gives a koyach, and that's why Chazal Taka say, Tachten shein tachten lamata meni. And where can we megala elokus? In this physical world, the lowest. We were given the ability that Torah should be able to permeate legamra completely the metzias of the world, b'pnimius. That all the elements of this world should become a chayfetz shel kedusha. Imagine that. You have a world which is full of, the Alter Rebbe describes a world, malei klipos v'sitra achra, v'arashoyim goyvrim boy. Fast forward 7 generations after the work of all these rabbeim and Matan Torah and all this. What do we reach to in the end? That the entire world becomes a chefza shel kedusha. Unbelievable. V'adarabba. But it's a slow process. It begins with the giving of the Torah. HaTorah nitna b'Matan Torah dafke b'olam hazeh tachten. Shein tachten lamata mimen. In other words, you're possible to say the chiddush of Matan Torah is that even such a low world, like our world that is the most disconnected, we can even come down so low and bring a lukus down over here. Now the Rebbe turns it around. Not only that even down here below you can reveal a lukus, dafka down here below you reveal a lukus. And there's something about the lowest point of existence that is negay over here. Achaloi b'shamayim in Kivan she'ikir hakoyach va'atoykif delukus. The main koyach and strength of the Eibishter, of Elokus, nikr begolui dafka begashmis olam hazeh. Dafka, this world, reveals something about the tkifus and the strength of Eibishter. See, till now we spoke about that what? The world is lacking koyach. Comes Matan Torah, enables us to bring Elokus into the world or to reveal Elokus. So the world gets koyach. Now the Rebbe is taking it deeper. We're being megala the koyach of Eibishter, the koyach of Elokus. How strong is the koyach of Elokus? That the Eibishter could create something that is totally antithetical to him in every aspect, and in complete blockage and so on and so forth. And that lowly world, that completely disconnected Metzias that is so separated from him, eventually receives him and expresses him. That shows the strength of his truth. That you can't block him. That eventually that truth will like the volcano, will. And by the way, you should know an interesting thing. There, and scientists, you're reading this, there is now, now in the world, this tremendous amount of volcanic activity. More, I can't say more than any other time, but a very, very high degree of volcano. The whole idea of volcano is that the pneumius, the lava, the fire, the lakus, Hashem alakecha oichlahu, spurting out everywhere. It's coming. It shouldn't happen to harm people, but I'm saying the concept is now happening in the world. In any case, in the lowest, where there is not possible below in it. And we know what's the real tkifus of Elokus? What's the real strength of Elokus? Atzmos. For Chassidim, we don't really have to go too much into this. We understand. All other levels of the Eibush, they're all oiros, they're lights, they're manifestations. So they're not. It's not the real strength because they have a beginning. They once didn't exist. They have a beginning. The Eibush shined light. The Eibush decided to make his gilui. But Atzmos, that's the Eibush himself, and so that's the real strength. Atzmos himself. And where is Atzmos revealed? Not in the higher worlds. Dafka ba'olam hazeh hagashmi. So what do we see from here? That until Matan Torah comes, and we don't elevate the Gashmias, we don't display the koyach of Eibishter. The koyach of Atzmos, it's not, the Eibishter is but it's not begiloi. The Eibishter was always, Atzmos is Atzmos, but it wasn't begiloi. Through Matan Torah down here, in which we take the lowest entities of the world and reveal in it the lukus. So Achal Yedei Allah Satachten B'Yoser, to the point that when we elevate the lowest, Mis'ala Kol Abinyan Koidel Gam Adagas Achiel Yonis to say the Rishtalshalas. What happens is, as a result of our avodah in the lowest of the low, revealing Atzmos here, suddenly this is elevating all the higher worlds as well. Everything is being elevated. Shleimus Agili Shalakoyach Deyach. Oh, comes out from there. So what's the nikud over here? So Sivan, which is Matan Torah, is all about revealing strength That's why Matan Torah is in the third month. Because the third month represents Toikif. You have 3, strength, Koyach. And this is the Koyach. Now, with Shleimus Hagilui Shala Koyach the Yarchet Lisa, Koyach the Matan Torah, Hareyu Chof Ches B'Sivan. Now, okay, Matan Torah was given, and it starts to reveal, it began to reveal this power of the Eibishter to reach the lowest of the low, and not only to reach the lowest of the low, but daski in the lowest of the low, to uncover the Eibishter's Metzias, the Eibishter's existence, the existence of Atzmas, fine. It started by Matan Torah. But since Sivan itself, since Sivan itself is the Chodesh of strength, Chodesh 3, and in Sivan itself, where do you have the Shleimus of 3? On the 27th day, which leads into the 28th day, which is Koyach, 3 times 3, comes out that the epitome of strength of the Eibishter, which comes to fruition through the strength of the Torah, which expresses itself in this, that the lowest parts of the world become godly. That's the ultimate expression of the koyach, of strength. When you have the shleimus. Now, let's understand something. Now the Rebbe is saying, but as an introduction to this, we have to always bear in mind, the Rebbe is talking this Sikha. As a result of the Chassidim, they benched the Rebbe's special bracha. It was 50 years then, when the Rebbe came to America. And which day is the Rebbe coming? Chof Ches Sivan. So what is the Rebbe saying? That when the Rebbe comes to America, as we're going to see further in the Maayon, in the Sikha, the Rebbe is bringing Matan Torah kind of to the low, in the world itself. There's a higher part of the world, the low part of the world. The lower part of the world is America, because it's the Chatzi Kader HaTachton. And what happens? Without the Rebbe, there was no one to dream of this. To be able to take the entire world, including the United States of America, and every place make yeshivas, chadarim, mikvahs, and turn it over. And not only that, but to become total balabas, to become the real balabatim on the world. See what we don't realize over here. Let's understand something. I'm connecting it to what I'm going to be speaking about later. Talking about the real balabatishkeit of the world, when America itself, because it's struggling with its own identity. I saw the Rebbe says, just like when we get closer to Mashiach, the more gilui there is of MS. As you get closer to Mashiach, there's also the forces of the other side trying to fight back. So when you see, in the last few years, a powerful force that tried to fight everything holy, and it kind of looked like, as we spoke, we're going to see later, it was marching towards victory, comes the last 2 years, and suddenly, thrusk! It's like you see, it's like when two people have you're having a wrist. You see, the powers are fighting the other way. Comes Mashiach Tzidkenu back, all in continuation of Chof Ches Sivan, and with tremendous power flips the whole thing over. Not through divine intervention, but through an internal process that's working from within the world. It doesn't make, and coming to a place, first of all, Benegay to Eretz Yisrael, Yerushalayim, one after another, it's all L'toivas HaYehudim, all L'toivas HaYehudim, and not only that, but to make peace in the world, on Chof Ches Sivan, we're taking what's happening right now, is it taking the most hostile force that's threatening today's days, peace and serenity and stability in the world, and being mahapachet. And this is all that Rebbe is connecting it to Chof Ches Sivan. The Yuvan Zal Pia Shaychis and Pasha Shalach. Shekranu b'Shabbos Achrayna. So we'll understand this all by first getting a little bit better understanding Pasha Shalach. Shememenu mizbarach Chof Ches Sivan b'Roiv Hashanah. Most of the years Chof Ches Sivan are benched from Pasha Shalach. Okay. Shlach L'cha, because we know Shabbos bench is the day of the week, just like Shlach L'cha Anoshim v'Yasuru es Eretz Canaan. So here we have a mitzvah. Send people, they should go and scout the land of Canaan. Koy al shlichus hameraglam adei Moshe Rabbeinu leleches liros es haaretz, to go see the land. B'chdei lahakal es haknisa la'aretz v'kibush la'aretz. What was the point of sending meraglim? To help in conquering the land. That was the thing. The kivin shahois is shlichus shal Moshe Rabbeinu. Since this is a shlichus of Moshe Rabbeinu, Omnam ba'oifen the shlach lecha. Taka it was in a manner of shlach lecha. Hashem says, I'm not commanding you. This is your das. So a Misnagid learns it and says, what? Okay, it's not the Eibishter. Moshe Rabbeinu did it on his own. You see what happens on your own. But according to Chassidus, of course, we understand that this is all part of the Inyan. That's to be dafka the Eibush, that's to pull out. And here is where the toikif of Yidden, the toikif of Achareza l'daita shel Moshe Rabbeinu. This is the das of Moshe Rabbeinu. V'HaKadosh Baruch Hu made, and the Eibush testifies, Shazel l'daitcha, daita shel Moshe. It's not the das of somebody or whatever. This is Moshe Rabbeinu. Asher in Yonai Bechlal Sfiras Adas. Makes it even so much stronger. Moshe Rabbeinu's Inyan, he is the embodiment of the Eibishter's das. Because we know all the tzaddikim, the 7 royim, each one, so Moshe Rabbeinu's, so it can't be chas v'sholem that there's some kind of a defect in that das. Moving him came. Shashlichus mitzadaita shel Moshe. The shlichus as it's coming from Moshe's das. Meaning, what happened in the end, that's because things mixed in that were not what Moshe Rabbeinu was sending them for. That's Yetzer Hara. The Eibush doesn't take away Bechira. But the shlichus itself, as it's coming mitzad das shel Moshe, bevadai hitzlicha, definitely was matzliach. Ubepoyel zeh heikel asaderech. And in the literal, and literally, this actually made it easier sheyuchlu la'achem ekein lichposh l'kanes l'Eretz Yisrael, that we should be able to go into Eretz Yisrael. K'vishahoya kein aydei Yeshua talmidim amal ha'makom shel Moshe. In the end, Yeshua went into the land. He's the mamal ha'makom of Moshe. He brings the inyan b'avodas Hashem. So what does this mean in avodas Hashem? Kol echad ve'echad mi Yisrael tzarich lichposh es chelka b'olam. Conquering, going into Eretz Yisrael really is the job for me and for you. Each and every one of us is planted. We over here were planted in Los Angeles. It means that this is our place. We need to conquer that. We have to make this a land, Eretz Yisrael. How does this land become Eretz Yisrael? Yiddishkeit is all over the place. It's our job to make this world, to make for the Eibishter dira b'tachtonim. In order to help us out, that we should be able to do this, we have a special shlichus. And that's Vayasuru Eretz Canaan. Kamavura Pirush Bezesh Vayasuru Humaloshin Vayisrain Eretz Bakoilhu. So here very well. The Rebbe takes us to a very deep idea that in order to give us koyach, to be able to conquer and make a place like this a dira, a place where the Eibishter is fully manifest and fully comfortable and fully expressed. That's what a dira b'tachtonim means. So there's a special nesinas koyach that Moshe Rabbeinu sends us a shluchim. And what's that avodah? And what he does is vayasuru es Eretz Canaan. What does vayasuru mean? Simply it means to scout, to look. But the vayasuru also comes from the word Yisroel, to add an advantage, to add something. Ha-Yisroel v'hamayla sheyashtam dafka bar. Now there's a pasuk. There's a pasuk that says Yisroel Eretz bakoilhu. That there's a Yisroel, there is an advantage to Eretz, to the land, bakoil, that's in everything. So what's the simple meaning of the pasuk Nishnageya right now? But the pasuk says Yisroel Eretz bakoilhu. So what does that mean? Ha-Yisroel v'hamayla sheyashtam dafka be'eretz tachtonim. We spoke earlier. The Eibishter says, go make a dira b'tachtonim. There's two ways of looking at it. One way of looking at it is, it's unfair to the tachtonim that they're not going to participate in the Giloi. So it's important that you should go and spread and get even to the farthest place, and even there bring the name of God. That's one pirush. But that's not the depth of it. The depth of it is dafka. You're not going to appreciate the truth of the Eibishter until you're going to reach until you're not going to reach tacht. Dafka. Dafka, the lowest below, holds the key to the revelation of the essence of the essence. Why? Because Yisroel Eretz bakoilhu. That there's a tremendous advantage in Eretz, in earth. Remember, the idea of Eretz represents tachton. So the lower the tachton is, the lower the earth is, the more it contains that Yisroel. There's a certain Yisroel. There's an advantage, dafka in the low. Yoiser masha b'shamayim u'b'chol ha'madreges l'mayla. More than in the heavens and all the levels above. Ki yidu as it is known, shadafka be'eretz yeshnei koyach hatzmicha. Where do you find that? That there's an advantage in earth. We know that dafka in the earth there is a koyach of tzmicha. Yesh Maayon. Suddenly, in all the creations, you don't see the power to create something from nothing. Don't see it. Dafka in the earth, suddenly you have a koyach. Yesh mashem koydem alamayim. The Eibishter's power to create something from nothing is only in the earth. It's amazing. Just physically, before you even talk any spiritual in on him, there's something about this earth that we don't find anywhere. Why? Ubefrat. That's the earth, the day the Eibishter created it already. The earth was already saying to us that it has special qualities. Especially once we, the Jewish people, get done with the earth. We purify the earth. We bring out the true godly light that is bedded in the earth, which is Yisroel, the word Yisroel, Vayasuru. Get to the advantage that's there in the earth. What's the shayrish of this? Eretz Usfiras Amalchus. The Rebbe says, in addition, so till now we're talking about physical earth, but there's also the way the Inyan is Bepnimius. Bepnimius and Yonim, there are 7 spheres through which godliness is channeled to the world. The lowest of those spheres is Sfiras HaMalchus. That's why it's called Eretz. It's the last, it's the final, it's the lowest. But what do we know? That Sfiras HaMalchus, even though it's the most dimmed, it's the Eibishter's light, and it is the most dimmed possible. There's no greater dimming of light than in Sfiras HaMalchus. Yet, we know that Dafke in that. Why? How do we know that? Because Chassidus explains all along that without Sfiras HaMalchus, you can never have a world. Without Sfiras HaMalchus, we can never ever have a world. Why? Because Elokus would be so dominant. Elokus would be so felt. Only Malchus, we're going to get in Tanya. Malchus is a filter. It blocks the Eibishter to allow for something else to, because why? Because the Eibishter wants to be a king. So he has to leave room for something else. How does that happen? Not only the effect of Malchus, that in Malchus itself, there's a darkness. It's like Hashem kind of conceals himself from himself. Malchus itself perceives an existence of something other than Hashem. As Chassidus explains, there's Das Elyon and there's Das Tachte. And Malchus is Das Tachte. It's a lower Das. So it's l'chora, the lowest. It's where godliness is the least expressed. But what do we say? That Dafka Eishes Chayil Ateres Baila. Dafka Malchus, which is the lowest point, is really, in truth, in it is embedded the crown of her husband, much higher than all the levels of the mashpiyim that come before Malchus. Eretz Usfiras HaMalchus, sheyesh ba Yisron u'mayla l'gabe shara Sfiras. It has a tremendous quality over all the other Sfiras shalamayla memenu. The Yisayim is it. The Yisron Eretz Bakoilhu. Now, when we say that Malchus has an advantage over the other Sfiras, Malchus koileles betoicha koil. Look at the words carefully. Yisron Eretz Bakoil. The Yisron of Malchus is with koil. So what does that mean? Koil is Sfiras HaYesoid. How do we know koil is Sfiras HaYesoid? We say in davening, L'cha Hashem HaGedula, HaGevura, which is Gevura, HaTeferes, V'anetzach V'ahoid. Then we say L'cha Hashem HaMamlacha, but we don't mention Yesoid. So how come when Yesoid is missing? The answer is it's there. Ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'oretz. Kol is Yesoid. Why is Yesoid called kol? Because we know that Yesoid, it's the whole idea of Yesoid is to gather the flow from all the spheros, the chasadim from the right side, the gevuras from the left side, the combinations of teferes and all of that, and to channel it down. What's Yesoid? Yesoid is bonding. So the koyach of all of that to be transmitted to Malchus. So what are we saying? What's the Maila of Malchus? Yisroel Eretz. The Maila of Malchus is Bakoil. Malchus receives everything from who? From Koil. But according to that, Malchus is what? A Makabel. So she's weaker. Koil is the Mashpia, Malchus is the Makabel. Okay. But the Rebbe adds, no. Shekoileles betoiches kol asir shvirish ulifneza. Vayisroin b'Malchus nifal. How does the greatness of Malchus come out? Al yedeham shacha shel kol. Kol asvirish shenechlolos b'sviris hayesoid. Be'eretz Malchus. In other words, Malchus contains within herself a tremendous secret. She has something in her that's like coming from the essence of Hashem himself. Like we said earlier, the earth has the power to create Yesh Maayon, which is Malchus. The earth is Malchus. But in order to be Megala that, to reveal the quality of Malchus, Malchus has to receive Kol. All the spheroids have to pour their light into Malchus. And then, Yisroel Eretz, then comes out the true advantage of Eretz. Aval achakach, after that, kashaze nimshach b'Malchus, once Malchus processes the light that's coming from all the spheroids into her, Mizgala ha-yisron v'ha-koyach the Malchus l'gabe shara spheris. Suddenly Malchus elevates from the bottom up, and she rises all the way to the top. This is the idea that women, for instance, we say are the makabel from men throughout all of history. When Mashiach comes, it's Eishes Chayla Teres Baila. Dafka the makabel rises to the top, which, by the way, everything as we're saying, everything reveals itself. The whole Me Too movement that happened this year is also an absolute sign of Mashiach, which means the mashpia can't abuse the makabel anymore. It's out, it's over, and it became already set. Why? Because the makabel is no more weak. The makabel is now in its full strength, and it shook, and it's still taking down like the most powerful people. From who? From a simple woman. Not necessary, not only celebrities. A simple woman, don't mess. Why? Because you're seeing already in the world the power of Malchus as it is riding. Eishes Chayla Teres Baila, the woman of valor, she's the crown of her husband. Yisroel shaloi be'erech yoisem mikafisha ze b'shar asfiris. Once Malchus, the secret of Malchus is revealed, then Malchus is way above all the other spheres, way above all of them, even Keser. Malchus is like Shalamayla Malchus. At shenifel ha'yisron eretz b'koilo. Now take a look. Now what happens? Look how the Rebbe is learning. 3 stages in the word Yisroel eretz b'koilo. Here are the 3 stages. 3 stages. Stage number 1, Malchus is a recipient. She's the lowest. She's the darkest. She needs to receive from the spheres. They pour into her. So then she's a makabel. She's lower than them. Once she's makabel from them, they begin to be megala her power. Once they're megala her power, she's above them. Now what does she do next? She takes all of them and reveals their strength. Now suddenly, she's the one who's bringing out the koyach of the mashpia. So what happens? Shahabakoil nimtze begolui b'malchus davka. Yisron eretz bakoilu. That their powers is the most manifest and the most revealed dafka in malchus. Ki yadua. What does that mean? Shen yana shal malchus ulehevi kol davar begolui ubishleimus. Malchus is Indian. What's Malchus? Malchus always means the expression, the revelation. Malchus is speech. Uba-oifen shall toike v'kiyom. What's a king? Malchus means king. So it's toike, it's strength. Ki ha-koyach va-toike v'delekus mizgale dafka uba-toich v'al-yadei ha'aretz. Like we see it also begashmias. That where is the strength of the Eibishter revealed? Not in the heaven, but dafka in earth. Va-abidur shel atachten b'yoyser shemekoydem ha-malchus. The earth, where does the word earth come from? Where do the lowest things, where do they come from? They come from Malchus. Hasfira achroine v'ashoydish lo'olam es b'ri yitzir asiya. Malchus is the lowest of all spheres. It's the source of the 3 lower worlds. And in the world itself, Olam Asiya. And in Olam Asiya, it's Malchus is be'ikir the source from earth, from the lowest, that everybody steps on, and so on and so forth. But yet, dafka from there, you see the koyach of etzem. Acha zemaila es kol adarga shalamayla. Malchus is maila, it elevates all the other dargas, kenis kaliyel. What does that translate? Let's translate that. Here's the Rebbe talking. Chof Sivan. The Rebbe is coming to the United States of America. Here is where the Rebbe becomes Rebbe. I mean, he was a Rebbe, he was born a Rebbe, but here is where, in this coming to America, this is the achana for the Rebbe to be makabel the Nesiyas. The Rebbe is going to say it soon openly in the Nesiyah. He's the 7th generation. He's Malchus. He's Malchus. And the Rebbe is receiving from all the Rabbeim. From all the Rabbeim. If you take a look Bechlal and the Rebbe's Maayon and the Rebbe's, you see the Indian of Kabbalah, of being makabel from the Rebbeim more by the Rebbe than by all of the Rebbeim. Because every Rebbe, when he said a mimer, he's kind of saying his own mimer. He's basing it. If you look, you see that this mimer is based on this, and most Maayonim are based on the Alter Rebbe's mimer. But still, you don't see and then you look at the Rebbe Marash's mimer, and my father said so, and my Zayda said so, and my Elta Zayda said so. You don't see that. Only the Rebbe's mimer. The whole mimer, every mimer you have, is based, and you can see the flow from all the Rebbeim. But until you don't learn the Rebbe's mimer, you don't know the depth of what all of them said. That's what the Rebbe's mimer are so crazy. Because when you start learning the Rebbe's mimer, the Rebbe like takes these maimarim of all the previous Rebbeim and goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and he's megali them in yonim that you're like, whoa, whoever said things like this? This is the Yenekuda. Dafka, the last one, Malchus, is megala Yisroel eretz bakoil. He's being megala the strength of all of them before. V'zau apirish v'yasiru es eretz Canaan. Al yedei v'dasei shel Yehudi be'eretz Canaan dafka. That's the meaning. through avoid of a yidavka in this world. The Yid is megala, the Yisroel, the tremendous advantage that there is in the law. Yisroel Eretz Bakoilu. This gives the koyach lichboish ulikones la'aretz. This gives the koyach for later being able to go into the land. Because let's understand something. With all the koyches that there is in Aretz, let's go back to Tanya. The way the Eibishter created this Aretz is that it's Malei Klippas V'Sitrachra. Rishoyim Goyvrim Boy. All the Choleris that were living in the land of the seven people, the seven nations. Amalek there, all these guys, the world is inhabited. But yet, so what was the point of the Meraglim? The point of the Meraglim was when they came into Eretz Yisrael, and they affected it. The Rebbe says they were Matzliach. What they came in, by them coming in, they're the agents of Moshe Rabbeinu. By the way, Eretz Yisrael is called Sfiras HaMalchus. When Moshe Rabbeinu sends those shluchim, this is like similar to the idea that Koil, we said earlier, that the Mashpia has to, first the Yid has to come and bring light into Malchus, into the land. But by him coming, what does he do? He activates the koyach that there is in the land, which they taka were successful. He reveals the hidden, embedded koyach that there is in Eretz Yisrael. And through that, it makes it much easier already to be Mesakin. Because once you've tapped that koyach that's there in Malchus, that's in the land, then automatically, what's the land going to do? The land is going to vomit. It's going to kick out all the klippas. They're all going to fall from it. Because you've just uncovered the truth of of the land. So the shliach, the sending of the Meraglim was a powerful spiritual idea. It was this idea that the koiches from above have to flow down in, and Moshe Rabbeinu took from all the shvatim, all the 10 tribes. That's referring to all the sfiras. I was not saying, doesn't say this openly in the Sikha, but that's the way I understand it. He's sending them down from all the tribes, a hashpah down into Malchus. Through that, he's being megala, the Yisrael Eretz Bakoilu that there is in Malchus. And then Malchus allows itself, then Malchus already, through that koyach that's there's already a tikkun. So we have a very big, special teaching in our generations. It is known, the Piddush, in the words of Kolev, Kolev says in Pasha Shlach, we're going to go up. Don't be afraid, we're going to go up. But he uses the terms 2 times, Olay Naila. Beis aliyos, valderech v'noichi alcha gam olay. Similar to what Hashem said to Yaakov Avinu, I will bring you up. Shezau ko al beis aliyos. These are 2 aliyos. Haliyah Rishonim Golos Mitzrayim L'Eretz Yisrael Binyan Beis Hamikdash. First there was one aliyah when we went out from Golos Mitzrayim. V'aliyah Hashniya Megolas Achrein L'Eretz Yisrael. Then there's another aliyah. In the end of days, there's going to be another aliyah. We're going to go up from this exile L'Eretz Yisrael Ba'agula V'amitis V'ashlemu Binyan Beis Hamikdash Hashlishi. We build the 3rd Beis Hamikdash Hanitzch. Now there's a similarity between our going out and them. Just like the main intention of Golus Mitzrayim was in order to receive the Torah, and again, when we receive the Torah, what does that do? It gives us the koyach through the Torah to be mavara the entire world, right? But what did we receive by Matan Torah after Golus Mitzrayim? What did we receive? Only the revealed Torah. This entire long Golus, it's all in order to come to the revelation of Pnimiyas HaTorah. Just like there was a Matan Torah then, there is a Matan Torah going to be after Mashiach comes. That's the like Rashi says befedish, we are promised that the Eibishter is going to reveal himself upon them. That he's going to reveal the secrets of the Torah. And since we need to taste a little bit from that great light, like we know that Erev Shabbos, you have to taste from the food of Shabbos. Erev Shabbos HaGeula. In the end of Friday, in the 6th millennium, Erev Shabbos of the Geula. That's why there was a revelation of the innermost of the Torah. The Afatzes of Maayonis b'machtzes hashniya shel elef hashishi. In the second half of the 2nd millennium, which is exactly when the Baal Shem Tov comes. The Baal Shem Tov revealed himself in the year Tov Tzadik Dalet. That's 6 years or 7 years before half of Elef Hashishi, before crack of dawn. The first 500 years is night. Second 500 years is morning, is day, Friday morning. So the Baal Shem Tov Mamish, in the year Tov Kuf, is in the height of the Baal Shem Tov's revelation. The Baal Shem Tov passed away 20 years later, Tov Kuf Chav. So that's the Baal Shem Tov's revelation. It's Friday morning. That's why at that time, it's Friday. So we start tasting the taste of Mashiach light. First there's a general Teres HaChasidus. Then it continues. Since the whole point of Matan Torah is what? That it shouldn't just be a Torah revelation. That it should permeate the world. So it has to come to the next stage of Chasidus Chabad. The Baal Shem Tov reveals this unbelievable Pnimius HaTorah, godly things, but they're too intense for the mind to grasp and understand. So we're able to swim in them, we're able to appreciate them spiritually in our souls, but we're not able to actually absorb it intellectually till they become part of us. Torah is Chassidus Chabad. Then comes the next stage to start bringing it down, like Matan Torah. Matan Torah needs to go down into the lowest place. And just like by Matan Torah, there were the Malachim that were screaming and saying, you can't let the Torah go down, you're going to ruin the whole Torah by getting it down. So too the friends of the Alter Rebbe got very annoyed at the Alter Rebbe. You're bringing such lofty ideas into Seichel. How can Seichel handle something like this? Same like the and they were talking Malachim. The other Talmidim of the Maggid were all Malachim, but they couldn't get it. But that's the whole point. The whole point is that the world and the Eibishter have to come completely converge. So it has to come into the world. The first conquest of the world is human intellect. Human intellect has to become a keli for Elikus, and that's Chassidus. And then we continue. Within the Alter Rebbe's days itself, there's two stages. There is before Yotes Kislev, and there's after Yotes Kislev. And here too, when does the Alter Rebbe have his redemption? Again, the number 3 comes into play. It's the 3rd month, the Chodshei HaChoreif of the winter. Just like there's the 3 months of the summer, for Matan Torah of the revealed Torah, there's 3 months in the winter. So the 3rd month, Al Derech Chodesh Sivan, Chodesh the Matan Torah, Chodesh the Chodshei HaKayetz. And then there are all the Rabbeim that are coming in continuation to the Alter Rebbe. The Gilui of Torah Chasidus is the beginning, a little taste. Chasidus on the one hand is only a taste, but it gives a taste. It uses the word taste. Taste gives taste into everything. So that means the Gilui primus at Torah Lasad Lavai. You hear what the Rebbe is saying? The Rebbe is saying the ganze taste that there's going to be in the Giluyim of Mashiach is going to give Pnimius HaTorah. Where does the flavor of Pnimius HaTorah that Mashiach is going to reveal after Mashiach comes, where is the flavor coming from? From the Giluy of Chassidus that the Baal Shem Tov and all the Rabbeim gave. They gave the taste, which taste means flavor. That means if you don't learn Chassidus now, it's like going to be eating, bland after Mashiach comes. The Torah of Mashiach is bland. Why? Because you don't have the taste buds in order to taste it. Taste the Kaddish what it is. But when you learn Chassidus, so it gives you the flavor, it gives you the ability. Okay. Now, Ukeshem Sheba Matan Torah. But hear this. Just like in Matan Torah, B'yarchet Lisa, Nitan B'klolis HaKoyach V'yasiru Es Haaretz. What did we learn in the beginning of the talk? That by Matan Torah, the Eibishter gave the Koyach to be Mevarer of the world, to fix the world, to be Megala Lakus in this world. Lifol ba'olam hazeh atachton, to affect this world. Hear these words: Acha olam yesaya v'yegala elokus. To the point, how much do we want to affect this world? To turn the world from being an opposing force to Kedusha, and to make the world be an assistance to Kedusha. That the world has to assist to Kedusha. K'moi kenifol al yedei agilui de pnimius ha'torah v'alfatzas ha'mayonos chutza. Through the Gilui of Pnimius HaTorah and Fatzas HaMayonos. Ubefrat ba'oifen shel islapshus ba'asage Chabad. Especially when we take Pnimius HaTorah and we learn it through the filter of Chabad, which means that we're channeling it into our Seichel. If it's coming into our Seichel, means it's coming into the world. B'Seichel ha'adam. Ad b'Seichel de nefesh ha'bahamas. One of the Chedushim of the Rebbe's Chassidus, over the Chassidus of the earlier Rabbeim, the Rebbe takes the deepest things and he explains them that even a little child can understand. Meaning he explains it even to the Nefesh HaBahamas. The Seichel Olam, even something even a guy can understand. This gives the Koyach Sheteva HaOlam, that the nature of the world Ve'inyanim shalamata yekelim lalakus. That all elements of this world should become kelim to Eibishter. So I go around the last 2 years screaming my kishkis out that Trump over here, this is messianic. Something is happening. And I'm finding that Dafke Chassidish Yidden getting annoyed from it. Look what the Rebbe is saying. The nature of the world starts becoming Kelim and Lakus. And this is the Avodah. This is the effect of all the years of Pnimiyas HaTorah. Yes, Dafka the U.S. Embassy. Dafka opened up in Yerushalayim. Dafka the Galach standing over there and giving his drasha of Hallelujah Hashem Kol Goyim Shapchuhu Kol Ha'umim. Dafka, that's the whole Indian. That to take the lowest of the low and turn them, and when is the ultimate koyach given? Through Pnimiyas HaTorah. What's the shleimus of it? Koyach Sivan. Because in the Gili of Pnimiyas HaTorah, there's stages. It had to come down to the lower part of the world. What's the lower part of the world? America. Who brought it over here? That's when the Rebbe came to America. When did the Rebbe come? Koyach Sivan. So therefore, fast forward 77 years later. Like the Rebbe says that this work of permeating the world is 770. The Rebbe says that. It's when you permeate into all dimensions of 7, because 7 is time and space. When you permeate time, and so when you get to the 77th year of the Rebbe being in America, which is this year, so what happens at the other end of the world? There is peace happening between removing the nuclear weapons. I mean, you got to be blind not to see. So these are prophecies. These are awesome prophecies. Everything has been said to us. Let's read further. On the contrary, through the Gili of Pnimiyas HaTorah, we're getting even a bigger chiddush. Chassidus being revealed now, Chof Sivan, and the Giluyim of Yutas Kislev and all these things brings a chiddush to Matan Torah. Why? We get a higher koyach than by Matan Torah. More than what was by our time of Matan Torah. You have to say that ultimately the Eibishter gave everything by Matan Torah. Like Chassidus, like the Rebbe Rashab says, the Rebbe said that Matan Torah won't be another time. So everything was given then, but it wasn't tapped into. We didn't have the koyach to see it. Then the Eibishter gave us koyach through giving us the revealed Torah. Galya Doirais. Shoy be'ikr b'matan Torah. So through that, mekablim be'ikr es ha-koyach legalas galya de kutshe b'rich. We have the koyach through Matan Torah to reveal the revealed part of the Eibishter, the galya de Yisroel, and the revealed part of Jews. What's the revealed part of Jews? So first of all, until the Baal Shem Tov came, what kind of Eibishter did we have? We had an Eibishter that we didn't know anything of his essence. All we knew, the Eibishter was the way, it was a little bit of a cultivated Eibishter. The Eibishter that we knew was not that one that is one with us. We knew about the Eibishter that he has his program, he wants very strong. If you don't go with his program, he hates you, chas v'shalom, and boom, boom, boom. Came the Baal Shem Tov. And the Baal Shem Tov came along and peeled away the outer layers. And then what are you talking about? The Eibishter. The Eibishter has an Ava Atzmis to every Jew. The Baal Shem Tov revealed the Pnimius of Eibishter. Then the Baal Shem Tov said, what do you mean a Jew doesn't like God? There's not such a thing. Because he's a simple Jew, he doesn't know how to learn? You're looking at Chitzonius. Look at the Pnimius. Take a look, see the beauty. He's Megala the Pnimius of the Jew. Then the Baal Shem Tov says, let's take a look. He's Megala the Pnimius of the world. Instead of seeing a Rishus HaRabim, a world with so many, the Baal Shem Tov says, take everything as a Lakus. Lakus is out. So the Baal Shem Tov revealed, once he opens up the Pnimius, everything changes. The whole Yiddishkeit changes. The whole relationship changes. Everything becomes deeper, richer, truer, lichtiker, freilicher. Everything becomes alive. As a result of Pnimius, it reveals the Galya de Lakus. Al Yadei Gili Sosem Dairaisa. Oh, but Al Yadei Gili Sosem Dairaisa Makablam es HaKoyach. We have the Koyach. Legala Sosem de Kutshe Berichu, the inside of the Eibishter, the concealed the Sosem de Yisroel. Val Yadei Zeh Sosem de Lakus Ba'olam, to reveal in the world the hidden dimensions of the Eibishter. Hadargis Hachin Nailas de Lakus, the highest levels of the divine. Shenimtzom behelim ba'oretz. We have the koyach to reveal that in the earth. The Yisron eretz ba'koyli ad lekoyach ha'atzmos. Sheyeshna ba'olam hazeh ha'gashmi dafka. We're megala the koyach of atzmos dafka and gashmi into this world. Shehu levado Okay, Sifhei. Inyan Zed, this Inyan. Shegilui Toiras HaChasidus Noisen Es HaKoyach Legalis Elokus Ba'olam U'Beyeser Seis U'Beyeser Oz. That the Gilui of Chasidus gives the Koyach to be Megala Elokus in the world more. See, what's the Nekuda here? Summarized. The Nekuda is that as a result of Gilui of Pnimiyas HaTorah in the second half of Elef HaShishi, we are given the Koyach to reveal a much deeper dimension of Eibishter in the world. Okay, fine. This is hinted to in the words Yafutzu Manesecha Chutza. Diber Pamim Rabbis, we spoke many times. Shekol over here in the next piece, there's such a Gavaldige Inyan. I could have learned this through and not noticed it, but then Baruch Hashem, the Eibishter opened. You'll see in a minute. It's like incredible. Just a short little something. Shekol Achas Meshalosh Hatevis Mevatis Inyan Abir Shalom B'Teichen Avoda. Any one of these three words is mevar, something gavaldik. B'yoyson l'shoynes b'Torah. Since these are a lashon in Torah, because the word yafutzu manesecha chutza comes from Mishlei. You ever knew that was a pasuk? Till the second, I never realized it's a pasuk. I just looked. The Rebbe puts. That's why the Rebbe puts on everything footnotes. No one should think stam gezok. Mishlei. It says that what? Moira kol lashon ala mitis v'ashleimus. Shall toichen lashon. So every word has to. If it's words in Torah, Torah is emes, and Torah is perfect. So each one of these words show on perfection. Yafutzu ba'mitis v'shleimus. The full yafutzu, ma'inoisecha, the full Maayon. That means there's nothing in the Maayon that's not revealed. The full Maayon, the full yafutzu, and chutza b'shleimus. The full chutza, ba'mitasu b'shleimus. So the Rebbe asks the question: what do you mean the full chutza? What, is there a maila in the full chutza? Maila, the full Maayon, the Maayon of the Eibishter. Yafutzu, okay, the Eibishter spreading out. But chutza is indicating what? Something negative. It's chutza. It's far from Eibishter. It's distant. So what's the maila of a full-fledged chutza? So, but here's the Rebbe answers a simple thing. Let's read it inside of it. Ma pirish b'chutza b'shleimus. L'chayra chutza hu ha'hepech ha'gomer b'shleimus. The whole definition of chutz is that the person is chutz. He's outside. Chutz means he's not within. The thing is not within. It's outside. It's external. It's the opposite of shleimus. Shleimus is what? Connected to the source. Unified. Here's chutzah. Shashayach rak b'fnim b'kedusha b'elokus. And chutz is like we say, the sitra achra is chutz. Other side. It's outside. V'abir mezeh. Hear this. Mekivan shechutza hu lashon b'toiras emes. Since chutza is a phrase in Torah's emes, the way chutza is according to truth. In truth of the things, is there anything outside of God? Where did this whole chutza? Did the Eibishter accidentally leak some energy and it became a psachutza? Something outside of him? It's not what happened. The chal's Eibishter. So where did we end up with the chutza? What's the chutza that we're talking about? First, Olam Bria, Yetzir, and Asiya is already chutza. And in that, Olam Asiya, and Olam Asiya Hagashmi. And in Olam Asiya Hagashmi, a corrupted Olam Asiya Hagashmi, after Adam and Chava's sin, and after the Chet Egel, and after the destruction, and after the Golus, and in here, till you get to all the Chazarai. But all this Chazarai did not come about as Tam Hazai. The emes is Einoid Movadai. There's nothing but the Eibishter. Nervous then, you have to say. The only reason there was a chutzah is because the Eibishter wants to create a chutzah, and in that chutzah you're going to be megala his truth, and that's going to reveal his truth truer than had there never been a chutzah. Comes out that the whole point of this ultimate chutzah, and comes out that the whole true definition of the chutzah is his galus of atzmos. The Eibishter says, how is my etzem going to be revealed? My etzem is going to be revealed when you're going to have a chutzah. A chutzah that in its the way it's created is distant, removed, corrupted with utter corruption. And that which is corrupted with utter corruption suddenly synchronizes with Elokus. Synchronizes with Elokus. It's crazy. Through the Maayonos. The Maayonos end up in the chutzah. And what do? They turn the chutzah and comes out lefizeh. The further chutzah the Maayonos flow, look at this spring. The spring is the waters are coming forth. From where? From the Baal Shem Tov. And they're going, right? And the Alter Rebbe takes it into a whole new level. and then they continue through all the Rabbeim, and finally you come to Deir HaShvi, and suddenly the Shluchim go out across the entire globe, and the chutzah is going further and further. The further chutzah you go, the more the hisgalus of the etzem there is. Because the only reason that's what the Rebbe is saying. Rabbi Reuven says, "Mekivan shechutzu loshem b'toyres emes and emoral mitis in shechutza. Sheba mitis in yonam arei ein chutz ma'kadosh baruch hu chas v'shalom." There's no chutz. Kamo shekasav ein oid milvadoi ein oid. Uma shekasav b'toyre loshem chutza. This that it says chutza. Hakavani la emes shala chutza. Eich shechutza megala elokus. The whole point is that chutza should reveal elokus. Va'adarabba dafke b'toich val yedei hachutz. Tachtoinim behester oire yizbarach. The tachtoinim, that which conceals the Eibishter the most, nikeres begolo yubishleimus ubetachlis ashleimus ha'emes delikus. The truth of elikus. She'ein oid milvadoi afilu b'hachutza. Val derech hamayla shel nisim amalubashim b'teva. Similar to where Chassidus explains that when miracles happen enclosed in teva, they're greater than miracles that are not natural. Because miracles that happen that are break teva shows that the Eibishter has power over the world, but it doesn't show the truth of the world. But when miracles happen within nature, show that that nature itself is totally unified with the Eibishter. So similar to that is this idea. What's the koyach to reveal this in the chutzah? Through the spreading of the Maayonis. The pnimius atayra. Again, each one of those is true. And what does the Yefutzu Meinesecha do? The Yefutzu Meinesecha do is that they reveal the great power that's in the chutzah. And then what does the chutzah do? It elevates the Maayonis. You see what's happening? Once, same like we said earlier, that the Eretz has greater power than everything above it. So what? Shehu Messiah Megala Lakus. Ultimately, the world, the chutzah, starts helping and revealing a lakus that the people that are inside are suddenly. I'm going to give you a little example of this. That the chutzah is megala lakus itself. If this wouldn't have been a chelik of the miracles of this year, I would be choishish to say this. But now that I'm seeing that this is all the miracles that are happening right when we hit the 777 and now 778. So during the embassy opening, this John Hagee, this big, and he gives a drasha, and he speaks with such. This is the place of Akedas Yitzchak. This is the place of this, and this is the Eibishter has done Higdal Hashem Lasi Semeila. Mamash, what it says in Shir Amal is the Eibishter has done miracles for the Jewish people. Boom, boom, boom. And none of the Yidden over there, including the Chabad Shliach, didn't speak with that toikif and that boom. Why is that happening? That the chutzah, their megala elokus to us. The pasture is saying the emes, being megala the emes, and the same as Trump, and the same as it's unbelievable. Their megala and dafka their megala. We can say the koyach to this came from the Alter Rebbe's Meiser and Geula and Yutes Kislev. B'chodesh hashlishi ki yedua. She'az hischel ikra inyan deifutzu meinesecha chutz. It started. Bekesherem gulase koysev Admar Azakin. The Alter Rebbe writes regarding to his Geula, Keshakarisi b'sefer Tehillim b'pasik, Pada b'sholem nafshi yatsasi b'sholem. I went out in peace. Yeah. V'yashloimar. Echad ma biyurim. What's one of the connections? B'ashayich is the Pada b'sholem nafshi. Uma geula v'ascholas ikra dafatzas hamayanis. Why the pasuk Pada b'sholem nafshi is connected to the geula of afatzas hamayanis? La'achar Pada b'sholem nafshi kasav ki berabim hoya imadi. Rabim means that the multitudes. Rabim represents Rishus HaRabim. All the things that are denying the emes of Eibishter. Shazeh moira al klolas inyan shaharabim Rishus HaRabim the chola oilam alma de pruda. The world that is separated, oilam apeiron, nasim b'matzev shel hoyo imadi. They all become connected to the Eibishter. Shaloizu b'vat she'ein tzorech lis yageyav al kapanim lasas mashu kedei shaharabim lo yafriyu. Not only that you don't have to do something, that the people, the rabbim, should not interfere. Ela adarabah harabim nimtsoyim imodi. The very rabbim, they are with me. Achazeh Messiah. Messiah Yoiser Larashus HaYachid. The whole idea of Pada B'Shalom Nafshi is to make the world and the forces of the world that are opposite of it. Take the Russian, take the communists. The Russian, they were the worst. And yet, in the end, they turn around, helping, the Rebbe spoke about this many times, helping the Yidden come from Russia up to Eretz Yisrael. And today's days, Putin is giving assistance to Chabad institutions all over Russia to help kids say Shema Yisrael. This is so crazy. But because we're living with it as normal, that's not normal. The Yechida Shalom, Shetei B'tachlis Hashlemis B'tachlis Amitis. Elechein, Harei Zeh Poyel Pada B'Shalom Nafshi. We turn over the page, 266. Sha'apadiya v'aga'ulu b'derech shalom. It's in a way of peace. B'li milchama klal. You don't need a war. V'al derech zeh. Here is what I wanted to say. That what does it ultimately produce? The Alter Rebbe's Pada B'Shalom Nafshi. It produces that the fixing of the world is without a war. V'al derech kafi shahaya b'mei shloima. Like it was in the days of Shloima. If you bichlal, everybody senses Mashiach is coming. There are those who learn Chassidus and those who don't learn Chassidus. So if you look at these Sephardic videos that they give out about Mashiach's coming, it's like they love it. They love to put the drama. And I remember seeing North Korea shooting missiles, nuclear war, with gematrias and destruction, and it's great because simple people read this. They say, "Wow!" And everybody do tshuva quickly before everybody's gonna die. And you see, you must have seen these videos. Maybe if you didn't, maybe it's better you didn't see it. But anyway, the stuff is out there, a lot of things. And take a look at the Rebbe. No, none of that. None of the drama. We don't need any of the drama. What? Quietly taking all these people and turning them over. Of tzalachis, of the forces that were operating in the world till this year, that were trying they made a power. We're going to talk about that soon. Made a powerful coalition to stop this. And if it's not enough, if anybody know what happened just yesterday when Trump left the G7 summit, he made such a chayzik out of them. He snubbed at them and made a chayzik, and they're all standing there dizzy. And these are the choleres. These are mamish the choleres who are like, right? They represent. See what they wanted is that they were the precursor to Mashiach. They wanted to create a Mashiach reality without Eibishter. That was what B'Rosham Obama. They wanted to create a world peace, a global thing, but a global element of Klippa. And that's why at the core of it was a two-state solution to hack up the Beis HaMikdash, not to allow it to happen. So what happened? And now they got such a clap today because he comes there. He came. He left early, and then he writes the thing about them, whatever. It's all Imamish making Ashem Parach out of it, and it's amazing. And when does it all happen? Chof Ches. Shekol ha'umois is batu l'gabe shloima. They all be. Yeah. Him and them together, him and Putin together will pave the way for Mashiach. I have no doubt in my mind. His galus, and both of them, as I mentioned, are connected to Chabad. It's not connected to Yid. Like if you don't see this, it's so clear. His batu l'gabe shloima l'loy shulmacham v'achem sayu biyadai. They helped him. It says that the nations helped Shlomo Melech. Elechein hu nikra b'shem Shlomo ki shalom haya b'yamav, peace was in his name. Achazeh pada b'shalom nafshi kol tachlis hashleimus t'shalom, the ultimate peace. Asher elu here's what I'm referring to, that the Rebbe is saying this Chof Ches Sivan, and I hear the words that the Rebbe is saying now. Asher elu shahayu ba'ovar menagdim, those who were up till now menagdim, nasim oyhavim gemurim, become best friends. Kefi sheyeh b'shleimus agila amitis v'ashleima, k'mo shekasav oza hapach ela amim, loshen rabim, all nations, including Kim Jong-un. Safa berura la'avdoi shchem echad, kebiyura shel admar ramsai. It's unbelievable. Now the Rebbe says, let's do it quickly, in the Yafutzu Menesecha Chutz itself, there are many levels. There are many levels of the 7-9 generations. The Rebbe, because the Rebbe is the 7th to the Alter Rebbe, and he's the 9th to the Baal Shem Tov. So in these, the Rebbe says there were Shlavim. Achrei Admar Azaken, after the Alter Rebbe, Shechai B'liyazna, Le'achekem B'liyadi, For many years, the Rabbeim were in Lubavitch. In the seventh generation, see, the Rebbe is again emphasizing that the seventh is powerful. So the seventh generation from the Baal Shem Tov, which is the Rebbe Marash, the Rebbe Rashab, were able to leave Lubavitch. What does that mean? The way the Rebbe is taking it is that leaving Lubavitch means leaving the nest to go out to conquer. So that's why the Rebbe, it's the first move of that, is moving to Rostov. That's the beginning of uprooting that comfortable kind of insular Chabad holy movement, which was poil everything, but the time has come from Melchemes Beis David. That's why the Rashab also, the Rebbe Rashab is the one who starts the wars. He sets up the Tomchei Temimim, the troops. And that's the thing. It's the seventh dafka. The seventh has the koyach. Because it's urban. It went out, it went away from a shtetl, and we went into a city. That's interesting. Oval Rostov, Leningrad, also a big country. Petersburg, and the Rebbe says now they change. And now he says they're changing it back to Petersburg because that's it's over with the current. Yeah? No? Yes, Shakla Vitaria. Yeah. The Achazelo Poland, afterwards it was run over to Poland. Until we finally arrived to America. The Sham Gufa Bekama Makoimais, Acha Hagia Lahabinyan of Abakim Shaboinim Tsam Anu Achshav. That we find now, the Rebbe says, we finally arrived over here. Beis HaKnesses u Beis HaMedrash Lubavitch, 770 Kfishunik. V'royim Bepoil. The Rebbe says, we see what you're on Bepoil. Sha'afal Pisha B'chol Doirois u'Makoimais Elu Haises Galus HaChasidus. Even though throughout all the generations was this galus of Chasidus, v'afatas hamayonas chutza, and there was afatas hamayonas, had a dafke b'chatzi kader atachten, dafke in America, sheboy matan Torah loy hoya. That the whole sikha is the Yisroel Eretz. The advantage is dafke from Eretz, from the law. Shematan Torah begoli, matan Torah was not revealed in this lower part of the world. Hoyse his galus hachasidus v'afatas hamayonas chutza, beyeser seis u beyeser oz, with more intensity. More than all the previous generations. It's arriving to a chutzah that has never been. Who would have ever thought of such a chutzah? The Rebbe, what's going on? The Rebbe brought all the hippies in. Then the Rebbe went from, everybody, everywhere, to every place in the world, and every language, and many things. First of all, it was more Maayonos, because what the Rebbe revealed, the Rebbe's Chassidus talks, the Rebbe talks in his Chassidus things that the previous Rebbeim were afraid to talk. The Rebbe talks in Atzmos, like things. It's deeper revelation of the Maayon. It's much more Yafutzu, the Hafatza, because there used to be. You worried who you're teaching. You didn't teach anybody. Today the Rebbe chaps everybody off the street, learn Chassidus. Everybody. No. And even to Goyim, whatever shaykh to them, the Rebbe was allowed to be given. Mamish, flooding the world. And b'chutzah, as we said, the Rebbe broke all barriers when it comes to chutzah, of how far it should go. Vatam lezehu, and the reason is, but the question is, how did it happen when we came to America? When we're so strong in the roots of Chassidus, when we're in Lubavitch, a place of 7 generations, we're in the center core of Kedusha, this didn't happen. And now, when we come to a place that is not affected by Matan Torah, so you have to say, because that's the whole power of Malchus. Malchus is the lowest, the darkest, but she has potency that all the spheres above it don't have. So once the Rebbe takes over, who's he Spheres HaMalchus, and he comes to the lower half of the world, which America, which is also Spheres HaMalchus in the sense that it represents low, which is Malchus, and Dafka over there is this explosion of godly truth. Yisroel Eretz Bakoili, Val Derech Zamuvin LaAchrei Matan Torah Atzmoi, Shedafke Bechatzi Kader Atachten, Sheboy Loi Hoya Matan Torah Begiloi, Matan Torah was not revealed. Nasa Shleimus his Galus, Shal Yisroel Eretz Bakoili, Wa Shleimus the Giloi HaTorah, Wa Panimias HaTorah, Ba'oifin the Yafutzum and Esecha Chutza, in the manner of Yafutzum and Esecha Chutza. Ukimerumos, and the Rebbe brings it all together with one statement. It is Merumas Gam B'misper HaKseves Shal Binyan Zeh. What's the address, the Rebbe says? Hamerka Shalobavich B'chatzi Kader Atachten. Shamisham Oire Yoitzel L'chol Oilam Kulei B'afatzes HaMayonos Chutza. 770. Sheki Yedua 770 Gematria Shal Paratzta. Kefisha B'nei Yisroel Pirsumo. Bnei Yisroel were already Mefarsim. The Rebbe was Mefarsim, and then everybody's Mefarsim, and the Rebbe says Bnei Yisroel are Mefarsim that Paratzta. What's Paratzta, Moshiach? Ma Paratzta Alecha Peretz. When Peretz came out, so 770 is Gematria. Is Gematria, what's it called again? Paratzta, which is what does Paratzta mean? Breaking all boundaries. God's emes, the emes of the Lukus, revealed everywhere. V'yesh loy ma shayches. What's the shayches? Why 770? Mispar Shiva Moira ala Shleimus the Shiva Yemei HaHekif. 7 represents the completion of nature. 7 Yemei HaHekif, which are Shiva Midos, which is also related to the 7 Midos. Hashpa B'chol HaDargis Mechesed HaMalchus, which represents the hashpa of all levels. V'ashleimus the Shiva who Mei Apamim Shiva. When you have a shleimus of 7, it's 100 times 7. It's 700. B'yachad dem Eser Pamim Shiva, together with 10, which is 70. Shebetzirufam Yachad there is 770. That's why it's paratzta. Hear this. The Rebbe is saying something very deep in the next few lines. Ki hashleimus to paratzta. The real shleimus of paratzta is not like, I'll take you back, let's go back 200 years. Not like the Rabbi Avram Kalisker's Chassidim. The Baal Shem Tov came and revealed Einoid Mulvadei. Right? The Baal Shem Tov came and revealed that. Came the 2 generations later, the Chassidim from Rabbi Avram Kalisker, and they were making somersaults. They were jumping all over the place. They were going crazy. They were so fired up with Einoid Mulvada. And the Alter Rebbe said, oh, no, that's not it. Because you're keeping it, you're exploding. You're exploding with godly truth, but you're not in the world. You're making somersaults on top of the world. That's what you're doing. The point over here is the ultimate paratzta, the ultimate expression of breaking of all boundaries, is that you have a world with all the limitations of the world, and you're mezachich that world, that in every facet and every alleyway, in every crevice of the world, is Nizgala Einoid Mulvadi, the emes of the Eibishter. For that, you have to take it into Chassidus Chabad. You have to work it out in your seichel and in your mind. But remember, it's not seichel. It's elokus. It's this infinite truth of Eibishter, but permeating seichel, permeating all the dargas, permeating the world, permeating the pnimius into the world, and then from within it explodes. That's the idea. So the Rebbe says, the ki hashleimus tu paratzta hapritza mikol hagabalois tezmanu makim. The breaking out of all, you're breaking out of time and space, but the ultimate of it is ad ba'oifen the paratzta b'toich paratzta, double paratzta nif'eles lo yal yedei hayetziyah mizmanu makim. It's not by going out of time and going out of space. 770 represents perfection of time and space. It's within time, it's within space. 770 Ashleimus the Mispar Shiva Sheva Meis V'Shivim, and that's the ultimate of Matan Torah of everything. Koloimer Shebiyachad Zeh Sheyeshnei Apritza Shalamaylam Adidav Agbol. Together with this, at the same, in the truth, there is a Pritza Lamaylam Adidav Agbol. You have Ein Sof. Yeshnam Gama Mokim Vazman. You also have time and space. Ukefishu Adin Bepashte Shamokim Va'Abinyan Sarech Liyaz Baal Dalet. Basically, the Rebbe is saying you have a building. You have one building. You're dealing over here with the Hizgalus of the Eibishter Beligvul. That's what's happening in 770. But at the same time, there is a building. And it has a roof. Api halacha, it needs to be a place. Because you have to have a shul. A shul needs to have walls and a roof. Eloshaz man va'amokim atzmon nimtzam ba'ofen shel paratzta. The time and space itself are in a state of Beligvul. We said earlier, al derech masha kosav al Yerushalayim, prazois teshev Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim is not going to have walls. Prazois, it's open, but at the same time, vani eyalo choymas eish. The Eibishter says, I'm going to have a choyma of fire around it. So there is a choyma, there is a very clear designated Yerushalayim, but at the same time, Prazois teshev Yerushalayim. Why? Because it's influencing the entire world. Yerushalayim's energy is blasting through all the 7 continents, the whole world, at the same time that it has a certain place. Umakim zeh, and this place, 770, Gematria Paratzta, Nasa HaMokor V'Anasinas Koyach Al Yafutzu Menesecha Chutza B'Chol Ha'olam Kuloi. This becomes the source for Afatzas HaMayonis in the whole world. B'Oifen Shepe'alim Es HaParatzta V'Es HaYafutzu Menesecha B'Chutza Ad LaChutza Shein Chutza Memenu Kach Shemegalim Sham. You're megalim the whole world as HaYisron Eretz B'Koil. Ula Hoisef Just going to learn a few more paragraphs, and then we're going to close it for this class. Now, the Friediger Rebbe lived 70 years. Why? Because the Friediger Rebbe is Yisoid. Yisoid is the sixth sphera that connects the five earlier ones with the seventh one. So Yisoid is really the combination that brings it all together to be a shleimus of 7. So that's why the Friediger Rebbe, his shleimus of his 70 years, and it's interesting, the Friediger Rebbe, who's the Yisoid, because we said before, how does Malchus have its power? It can't start with Malchus. Malchus first needs to receive the energy. That's why it couldn't be the Rebbe, the 7th Rebbe, come to America. It had to be the 6th Rebbe. Because we needed the oiros of all the 7 Rabbeim. It's all a continuation. For Malchus to reveal her power, she must receive first the energy from all the other ones. And if America is representing Chatzi Kadra Tacht, the Inyan of Eretz, so it first needs the Friediger Rebbe to come. But he says, the 770, and where does he conclude his work? In 770. His last 10 years, and this gives the strength to the 7th generation, who's after the Friediger Rebbe, Keneget Sfiras HaMalchus, which the 7th generation, here's what the Rebbe says clearly, that he, the 7th generation, corresponds to Sfiras HaMalchus. Shetia Shleimus Hagili, Hagiloi, the Shivim, Eser Pamim Shiva, Beyachadim Sheva Meis Meir Pamim Shiva, 770. The Shleimus Hagiloi, the Yisroel Eretz Malchus Bakoil Yisoidi. Take a look, for just 1 second. 73, Ha'ara 73 is very important. The top Ha'ara, the top footnote on page 268. The Yeduat is known, Shekvoid Kedishas Moiri Chami Admor, who Keneget Sfiras HaYisoid. The Friediger Rebbe corresponds to Sfiras HaYisoid. Shmoy Arishin Yosef, because Yosef is Yisoid. Yosef is the 6th one of the Ushpizim. So Yosef is Yisoid. Shehu Midas HaYisoid. La'achrei HaChamesh Midois Keneged HaChamisha Nesiyim Shalofanav, the 5 Nesiyim related to the five spheres above. V'yesh Loima, this is such a powerful statement. Look at this little line that Rebbe throws in over here. Shekol Doireinu Anoshim V'noshim V'taf Hu Sfiras HaMalchus. Our entire generation, the Rebbe shares it, the Rebbe doesn't keep it for himself. The Rebbe says, all of our generation, the men, the women, and the children are all Sfiras HaMalchus. That means we have power like no other generation has ever had. Because when we allow the flow of all the Rabbeim to flow into us, and their light, and then that brings out the strength that we have. Based on all of this, we'll understand. I'm going back on page 268, the first paragraph. Now we'll understand why it's Chof Chassidic, because this is koyach, the koyach of Matan Torah. This is all about. This is the koyach, the ultimate realization of Anoichi Hashem Elokecha Lehilecha culminates in the Rebbe coming to America. Asher megala es koyach shel chodesh, it's megala the koyach of this chodesh. Yarchet Lisa, Vesa koyach the Orient Lisa. It's megala the power of the 3rd month and the power of a triple Torah. Vesa koyach the Amet Lisa and the koyach of the Jewish people that they were triple people. Udachol anyanim shel Lisa hakshurim ematan Torah k'vishomer Reb Nisan going. The Rebbe explains why Reb Nisan going, because Nisan represents miracles, because we're bringing in Elokus. Goyen represents Shleimus of Torah, that's why it's Gematria 60. 60 is the 60 Masechtas of Shas. So Rebbe Nisan Goyen, he was the one who reveals the purpose of all of Torah is to bring down the miracles of the Orein Sof down in this world. Ubeklalas hakoyach the Malchus. We megala the koyach of Malchus, the Yisron Eretz Bakoili, shemegala koil b'shleimus u'ba'ofen shel kayama. What Malchus does is that it creates. One of the things that everybody said about Lubavitch after Gimel Tammuz is that it's going to collapse. It's going to fall apart. But the chap over here, now what happened? The Rebbe says, Malchus is stability. This is real. This is permanent. This is the ultimate. There's nothing to shake over here. This is the emes. This is the emes from below. And a total opposite happened. Thousands of more shluchim had gone out. The avodah of afatzas Maayon and everything just increased tremendously in a very big way. Because this is, as he says, because Malchus is the ba'ofen shel kayam shalish pam shalish the dafke begashmias olam, and dafke in such a physical way, ba'ofen shel mamish, in a manner of mamashes. Al pi anis kaliyal. So now the Rebbe brings it down to avodah. What's our avodah? Move in inyan hashlichus shlach lecha shel dereinu zeh. So now we'll understand what our shlach lecha of our generation. Afal pisha anu nimtzam anu ba'olam hazeh tachten begalus. Even though we are in the lowest, in this lowly world, and in galus, begalus zeh achron, in the last galus. The sham gufa, and over here as well, we're not in a spiritually conducive place. We're chatzi kadra tachten. We're in the lower half. Yesterday we had over here a kiddush in shul, and it was a yid who shared with us. It was his father's yard site the day before, and his mother's yard site was yesterday. And he shared to us the hostilities of his grandfather that was here in 1920, and he may open the, according to him, I have to verify this, he says he was the first yeshiva in America, 1923 in New Haven. And he says the tsaris that he got from the Jews that were there, when he started trying to make shechita, they had him arrested. And the hostility, to think about it, how long is that night? He says that his mother was the first one. Interesting. He said an interesting thing. He said that all the women, they lived in Williamsburg, so the European women wore sheitlach, some. But his mother was the first American woman to put on a sheitel, and she was the first one to wear a human hair sheitel. The other ones used horse hair. They had different. And she went, because she was in America, so she went already to the theater place. Oh, she's a pioneer. It was nice to hear that. But in any case, you don't realize what America was. We're talking about the Friedrich America's nicht anders. Just, what are we talking about? We're not even 100 years later. We're not even 100 years later. And what kind of a ufaratsta, what kind of a complete break. So that we're holding Chatzi Kadra Tak, now Makim Shal Roiv Minyan Ubinya B'nai Yisroel Bizmanenu. And here's another interesting thing. The Rebbe says most Jews are in America. But that changed since now. Now the most Jews are already in Eretz Yisrael. So that's too. We'll talk about that after the break. Dafka from this lowly place. To the point that we're so low. This brings an out. We elevate all the generations and everything that was before us. And we elevate the highest generations. We are responsible to elevate Moshe Rabbeinu's generation. That's why it's so important to sit before Chof Ches and before Gimel, to learn these sichos. Or else we get together, Gimel Tammuz, and we krechts. And we're hardly alive, and we're hardly schlepzach. And we talk about a psal legacy over here, and a shmegacy. And a psal maisa that we're going to keep on, and we're going to schlepzach, and we'll feel like constipated Jews. That's what I feel. That's what I feel when I go to these. When you sit down and you read what's happening over here, we're talking about. We're dealing, the elokus is bubbling, it's bursting, it's exploding. Allow it to explode through you. Learn the sichos, see what the Rebbe said. People are scared. I'm talking about Chassidim. We're so scared to open this up. And even when we learn it, why did read the short version? Learn the whole thing. Sit down and learn it. Let these... Ikeyadua, and it is known, sheteves geula nichteves dafke mitoich val yeteves goyla. That geula comes from the word goyla. The aleph, what does that mean? That geula means that the geula redeems the entire goyla, everything before it. B'toishes aleph ki geula nimshachas abal yedeach nasas aleph alushla and big galus in goyla. The kiven sha geula ba dafke mamatzav achi tachten. Since the geula comes dafke from the lowest place, lechenu gam po'ele shetia geula mitzvah vashlema. That's why it makes it be permanent. How do you know there isn't going to be another galus? So here's the idea. If when we redeem the world, we redeem it from the second floor, from the second, third, fourth, fifth floor up, but we don't redeem the bottom floor, you don't redeem the bottom, the lowest, then you don't know. Something can come out, some rats can come out from where? From the bottom and eat up the foundations and cause the whole thing to collapse. That's why the only way to bring a geula is to go to the lowest of the low and fix it from the very bottom. When you fix it from the bottom, there's nothing that can contradict it anymore. If someone like Donald Trump is bringing the geula, then it's not coming from a refined elements of purity of kedusha. When the low elements of the world, that's the whole nekuda. Geula nitzche she'en achrei galus. Shalel oimrim shir chadash. There won't be another. Why? Ki dafka al yedei zeh sha'adava bo ma'atachten b'yosim. Emes me'eret titzmach. The truth is sprouting forth from the earth. Mizgalus amitis v'shleimus ha'inyan. It's megala the emes. Shazadavar shel kayama. There's no challenge to it. U'ba'oifen goloi dafka. It's revealed. And what's the mile of malchus? The mile of malchus is that everything is revealed. Malchus is speech. So it's not just that it's the lowest, but everything in a manner of gilui. Shenyana gilui be'avda giyama shetizgala b'shleimus b'gula mitzvah shleima al yedei Mashiach tzidkeinu mi Malchus beis David, who's from Malchus beis David ki yidua sha'chidish the giulahu. What's the chidish of the redemption? Gilui lakus lamata ba'olam hazeh atachten shein tacht lamata b'menu dira loyla atzmusa yizbarach betachtoinem asher bedira nimtza etzem. The full etzem is revealed. Shezeu gama shayrish the tevis geula is gilui. So now I want to read to you one line. The Rebbe says, okay, I have to read the next 3 paragraphs because here's where the Rebbe drops a mamish, an explosion. Look at these words. The Yeshloimar, we can say, Kishem shezeh b'negei l'klolis inyan ha'golus v'geula. That the regards to golus and geula, kamoy kenu b'negei, what? Yeah, I'm going to be done in 2 minutes. You do need Sunday too. You do need Sunday. Okay, I'll wait 2 minutes. Go put some. Even so, you can park. By the way, you can move the cars here. No one parks in the back here. What? Yes. What? Yeah. South America.
No, it's California.
Yeah.
And California is Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is Hollywood.
Yeah.
You have a star and a prayer. And how we know which prayer is the tactic. It takes 770 and makes 7 plus 7. How much 7 7?
What?
7 plus 7.
14.
14 and 0 is what?
140.
140. What's 140?
Mine Yisroel is 140. 140 North La Brea. That's why Dafka from here. Yeah. I was wondering what's making me meshuga. Who's making me crazy over here? From where? 770 140. The lowest of the low is over here. That's why the Rebbe was. The Rebbe was insisting. The Rebbe was insisting that we start Maayon Yisroel on La Brea. I was trying to get this place. You understand? Till today, I'm frustrated. Why I didn't start in Pico? Why? Because Pico would have been easy berudim. I would have had 1,000 people in shul every Shabbos. I always knew. I go to Pico there. People are young. They're here. I deal with different hard. It's establishment already. And I've always wanted, and the Rebbe didn't let me. Every place I tried fell apart. It was amazing. The day after I signed up with CUNAN, the day after, I found this place. So it was a psehim l'shlichus. See, I'm just noticing it now. 10 years ago. For 5 years, I'm looking for a place in Pico. For 5 years, I'm looking for a place in Pico. I always felt that there's a lot of klipa coming from down there. That's like, maybe I don't know why today's days, I was thrown into the throne to be the. Yeah.
So this is going to be destroyed. So how can destroy? Go to Hollywood, and this sort of kind of slow bread. They're going to start from Hollywood there, and they need to
Very good. That's why it's not even 140 South La Brea. It have to be in the north. North is. I get it. Now I can understand all the why my beard is white. Yeah. Tell me. See, I needed to teach this whole teaching for these secrets to come out. Yeah. There you go. All connected. That's why the Eberstadt Charangesteckt Naftali right over here. It's really interesting. In any case, so wait, what happens? A few months ago, I have this Sephardi guy calls me, and he said, "You are related to Mashiach." And he starts telling me because everything regarding Mashiach is number 14. And he said, "Your address is number 14." Then I said, "My home address, 158, is 14." And then he said, "Take a look on your Facebook. You have 14 something. Everything is 14." I was thinking, that's interesting. And I started looking around. I saying, everything is like a 14. I'm trying to think like. So here's getting 140. Yeah.
The 7 and 9.
Uh-huh.
You said it's Kislev, it's third month from the Tisha.
Yeah.
But it's also 9 months. Counting
From Nisan.
It's 9.
Yeah.
But it said the Sivan is optimal core. It's not optimal core. But Sivan is just.
Yeah.
But
Kislev.
It's 9-9. It's Kislev.
Yeah.
And what is source for the Kislev is for Sivan.
For what?
For Yudalot Kislev.
Yeah. It's 14, yeah.
14, real core. But when you review it's.
Okay, let's just learn the last line, and then we'll take a break, and then we'll go further. V'yesh loima, we can say, Shekeshem shezeh b'negei l'klolos inyan ha'golos v'giyula. Just like this is in regards to the general power of the golos and the giyula. Kamoikenu b'negei la'mokem ha'prati, shenimtzoyim boi b'chatzi kader ha'tachten. In the specific place that we find ourselves, in chatzi kader ha'tachten, sheyois, hear these words, shezeh ha'migdash ma'at, this base ha'migdash, which is 770, hu ha'mokem shaboi kvoid kedushas moiri chami, since this is the place where the Rebbe, the Nasi Hador, the Friediger Rebbe was set his place, that this is the source to spread the Maayonis in the whole world, had a dafke b'makoim u'makoim zeh nefeles ha'geula u'binyan beis ha'migdash ha'shlishi migdash Hashem koinen yadecha. That dafke from this place, the Rebbe says, this 770 brings the Geula, and it affects the binyan of the Beis HaMikdash, which is Mikdash. The Afalpi, hear these words, Shemakoymai be'eretz HaKodesh, that the Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi belongs in Eretz HaKodesh. B'Yerushalayim ir HaKodesh, Al Har HaKodesh. Harei kivon shezeh nifal al yedei maseinu v'avadeseinu kol zman meshech HaGolus. Since the whole Beis HaMikdash is affected by our work during the entire duration of exile, ubifrat besiyam zman ha'golus al yedei avodah de yafutzim and esecha chutza. It's in Golus is what creates the third Beis HaMikdash. In Golus itself, it's the last avodah of afatzas hamayonis. Yesh kvar b'makom zeh. So the Rebbe says, therefore we have to say that already in this place, the dafke b'makom zeh ha'achana b'shleimusal ha'mikdash Hashem koine yadecha. There is already the hachana for the shleimus of Mikdash Hashem koine yadecha. Ad she'take. And the Rebbe says, like you find that the Rabbeim used to say, the Chassidim would say that the Tzemach Tzedek, the room of the Rebbe is based on Mikdash. Hine Lubavitch is Yerushalayim Shalanu, the Rebbe brings. Beis HaKnesses is based on Mikdash Shalanu. That's already before. But at sheteike femiyad nase b'makom zeh hagilui shamikdash Hashem koine yadach. So the Rebbe says that the gilui of the Beis HaMikdash HaShlishi starts in 770. Sha'ezeh yochel kvoid kedushas moiri chami v'admo nasidareinu l'tvoya u'lahavi l'poyel. This, the Rebbe, is able to demand this and to bring it and to actualize it. Shelachol eroish nasa hagilui demigdash Hashem koine yadecha b'makom zeh sheva meyes v'shivim shebo yuchayu pol avedase b'meshech 10 shana machroinos hasach hakol d'chol avedase. Such words, and from this became the source. By the way, this became the source for the Beis Rabbeinu Sheba Bavel, where the Rebbe says clearly that the third that Moshiach Yivne Beis Hamikdash b'Mekoymai is referring to the Makom where the Friediger where Moshiach is, not b'Mekoym in the Beit over there. He builds it b'Mekoymai, and from there it goes to Eretz Yisrael. Such. V'dafka yedei sim avoid b'chatzi kader atachten mailam and megalim as kol abinyan shem migdash Hashem koine yadecha. Also the gag of the binyan where Melech HaMashiach stands and tells the Jewish people Higiyas man golaschem. So the take of a miyad mamish with the clouds of the sky, all the yidden ben areinu b'skeneinu ben eseinu ben eseinu find ourselves b'atzeinu akdosha together with b'yachad and beis hamikdash hashlishi sheyesh nekan Veloikchem es kol ze biyachad. We take everything. Kasman zava mutar. Very good. And anyways, we have the avodah that the Rebbe tells us to be megala everything. And what you see from here, there's nothing more that needs to be said after you learn the sikha. I'm not exactly sure. It was a kudrash that came out in Nun Beis, but it was based on a lot which was said. Yeah. Okay, everyone, we'll take a break for about let's make it 5 minutes, and then we'll start the next class.
11:15, yeah.